Hey guys, welcome to my tutorial. I use BEHR paint for my canvases. I used them for the first time a couple months ago and I just thought it was amazing. I'm going to use them for murals, but I never used them for canvases before that, and something about it just feels right, when you find that right canvas or that right paints that it just you kind of do everything with it. So I picked my colors that I want. I'm going to be painting a queen bee as request. This was a commission piece and I truly appreciate it. I met this person at my local town art event and they asked if I could make this piece, and of course I'm honored to do it. So I have my first layer of green, and then I went in with a second layer. I used my blow dryer to make the process go a little bit faster, so I'm not literally watching paint dry slowly. And I thought to myself, honeybees have honeycombs, right? So honeycombs have hexagons. And I know I cannot draw a hexagon, so the best thing I could do was just tape and adjust and adjust and adjust until I have it right. In my other videos, I have how I can use tape and not have bleed out. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing the first layer with my background color, and then I'm going in with my color that I'm going to have the hexagons. It's going to be this light green. The way I come up with my colors is I think of the main piece. What do I want my main piece to be? And since it's going to be a bee, it's going to be a mixture of orange and yellows and reds. And so contrasting those colors, if you're familiar with the color wheel, is greens. So that's how I came up with the background colors. And so this way the foreground can pop out a little bit more. I wish I had a slow motion taking off the tape because it's always so satisfying, but that was good enough. Right now I'm drawing out the sketch of what I want the bee to look like. I've done plenty of bees before with pen and marker. I don't think I've done one with paint, but one of my favorite things every time I do bees, I've also wood burned bees, is just seeing the detail of their fuzzy, fuzzy bodies. So I'm already going into this expecting that I'm going to have layers on layers because that's just what makes it more fuzzy and more detailed. I have a lighter gray first coat, so this way my yellow can pop. If I didn't put that first coat of the light gray, it'd be really hard to see this orangey yellow color. It looks like yellow through the camera, but oh yeah, it is. And then I'm putting in the orange. You know what? Ignore me. What do I know? But if I didn't put in that first layer, then it would have been really muted, because the background is a dark color. So I put that first coat to make a difference in layers. And so this way they can really be two different pieces. So I went in on the bottom with orange and red because you have to think about where the shadows are going to be. And the shadow of a yellow would be kind of a reddish orangey color. So I have the bottom belly portion of the bee to have a more red orangey feel to it. And now I'm going in with brown, which is odd because it's not going to be a part of a yellow bee. You wouldn't think so, but you need shadows. That's how you have that definition of the cute fuzzy pieces. So you go in there sporadically with some shadows and then you come back in with the yellows. And some browns are peeking through and some aren't. The ones that aren't, the yellow that covers it is a little bit darker of a yellow than the yellows that are not covering any brown. It's little things like that that make such a huge difference on making your painting something simple to something that pops and something that is a showstopper and intrigues people and draws them in. I keep telling myself more detail, more detail, more detail. I teach a class to kids, and something they do is what a lot of us do is we get bored, we say, okay, I did it, and then that's good enough, and then they move on. So one of the last classes I had with them, I challenged them and I gave them an assignment. They'd come up to my desk after 5 minutes and say, okay, I'm done. I'd say, nope, go back and add more detail. And we did this for an hour and they were losing their minds. And even I was having a hard time of pinpointing where they could add more detail, but you can always add more detail. So now I'm going in with the stripes of the bee. um, I'm using a very dark blue and some black. Again, if I just used black, I wouldn't be able to see any highlights, any texture or anything because it would all just be muted together. So the next darkest color I had was it's called Night Sky from, no, I think it's called Starless Night from BEHR Paint. It's a really dark, beautiful blue. So I go in with that with the base coat, and then I come in with some details and textures with the black. I didn't do too much else on that because it's pretty dark. You can see texture, but I didn't want to add highlights because I didn't want to add white paint because you don't really see white dots on bees. With the legs, I didn't add much texture because when you look at bees, I know if you look at them really microscopically up close, they're going to have little fuzzy legs, which is so cute. But in the grand scheme, if you're not looking at them up close, they don't have fuzzy, fuzzy legs. They look really clean and precise. So that's what I did with this bee's legs. I'm coming in with the wings. This one I was kind of nervous about because I didn't have a reference photo. I'm recording the process with my phone, and my phone is usually where I see my reference photos. So I didn't have a reference photo this whole time. And I was thinking to myself, crap, what do the wings look like on bees? And if I remember correctly, they have little tiny portions on their scales. I know insect wings, like the left wing, reflects the right wing. So I knew that they had to look similar to each other, but I was trying to think of the details inside the wings. So I just kind of picked it apart a little bit, and I think it looks really nice. I'm really impressed with what it looks like. I go through a variety of paintbrushes because I'm in the luxury of my house. Um, that's like if I'm using a small detail compared to a big detail. Whenever I'm using the same size brush throughout, then I use the same brush and I just kind of rub away the paint when I go to another color. And right now I'm getting ready to go in to apply gold leaf. So I'm securing the bee because what I envision is gold pouring down or honey, whichever you prefer. So I'm securing my bee and I am adding quite a bit of glue so this way it can create that drizzle effect. I also painted in the crown because that's going to be gold. I had a little bit of leakage through the tape, but not too much, nothing that I can't handle. I did use my blow dryer to kind of speed up the process of the drying of the glue. If you don't wait till it's ready, that could really mess up your picture down the line. Gold leaf is super tedious, but it's super fun and beautiful. So it's off screen, but I have a little square of gold leaf, and instead of just laying the whole square on the picture, I'm picking it apart with my fingers. My fingers are already sticky with just the natural oils on them. This leaf is super delicate to use. It's like, think of tin foil that you use. Imagine your tinfoil is so thin that it will blow away with your breath blowing on it. I forgot to turn off the fan before using this, so I was already juggling with it, which is fine. I mean, I genuinely love messing with gold leaf because it allows you the room to just relax. You have to relax. You have to enjoy the process and be okay with where it goes. There was some leakage of the glue, so wherever the glue is where the gold leaf is going to stick. So I went in and retouched up some spilts over color to make sure it has that clean look to it. And then I'm coming in with my details on that beautiful, beautiful crown. I was trying to think of like classic royal crown. So it has the red brim and the dots and the little details to make this queen bee stand out so beautifully. I feel like she knows she's royal. She knows she owns things, so it's her world. And that's it. That's my queen bee. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going in to seal everything up so that everything lasts and it's safe. And now she can bask in all of her glory. I hope the person who gets her is super happy with this. I had a lot of fun. I love adding texture. I've loved doing bees for years now, from my wood burning days to just drawing and doodling. There's something about their little fuzz that's just so comforting. Um, I think that wraps up this video. If you guys have any questions about the tutorial, leave them in the comments. Subscribe to my channel, like the video. It really helps me go a long way. And stay tuned for next week's video. Thank you guys. Bye.